Well, and you kind of hit on it early on when you were talking earlier when you're talking about our bodies weren't designed to eat all the time. I mean, if you think about what we did, 1,000 years ago, we didn't have, 24/7 access to food, which most Americans now, I mean, when we get home, our pantry and our freezers are full of, and fridges are full of food. We have basically an unlimited food source. Well, 1,000 years ago, you talk about fasting for 36 to 48 hours. That's what hunters and gatherers did. I mean, you would go on a big hunt. You would eat. You would have something. You would eat that. You would feast, and then you would have food possibly besides maybe a little bit of stuff from gathering. Like some plants or something, berries or whatever. But you wouldn't have a big meal for another 48 hours when you had another hunt. So our bodies were designed to fast regularly, and that's one of the reasons we store fat so well. Is it's an energy source, and if we have too much food, we store too much fat. So our bodies are incredibly resilient when it comes to being able to fast and built that way.
Yeah, and the other thing is the human body has enormous powers of self-healing and self-generation and self-curing. And, it's been quite clear with COVID and the consequences of the vaccine that what one really needs to do is enhance and potentiate the ability of the body and the host to cure themselves. There are these, very important cellular and host mechanisms that are self-healing. So rather than taking medications, what you need to do is, stimulate or activate these processes of self-healing. It sounds absurd, but that's what the body does. As you said, we were hunters and gatherers, and we didn't spend all that time indoors under fluorescent lights. We were outdoors hunting and gathering and doing whatever we do. Now, particularly with all these stupid lockdowns, kids are, imprisoned indoors. They don't see sun. They don't get any exercise. And, that's not the way we were made.
No, and when you look at, what we did thousands of years ago, to be outside and to hunt and gather and to fast. And when you look at also the sleep routine, we're diurnal creatures. We were created to work during the day, hunt, gather, and sleep at night. And when you talk about the body, responds and the body recovers, we need to do that when we sleep. And that's when we get stronger. That's when our immune systems get stronger. And we've been fighting viruses like that, viruses and bacteria and all kinds of other things, cancers, for thousands and thousands of years. And it's really not until the last 50 or 70 years where, autoimmune diseases and other things have popped up, partly because of our lifestyle, our lack of sleep, our poor diets, all that stuff. Our bodies were not designed to be treated like that.
Yeah, I mean, what you say about sleep is so important. I mean, sleep is a time for the body to recover, most importantly for the brain to recover. And so one of the worst things you could do is have a meal, a big meal before you go to sleep. That's probably one of the worst things you could do, because it doesn't allow. So there's this thing called autophagy or autophagy, in which the cell basically clears itself out of damaged, misfolded, and foreign proteins. But the brain is very important in doing that when you're sleeping. But if you eat before you go to bed, you actually switch that process off. You eliminate or you reduce, sleep-induced autophagy, which is very important for brain healing and brain recovery. So, it's just a matter of developing, simple lifestyle changes that can enhance your health. And, they need to be simple, they're inexpensive, you can adapt it to your lifestyle. These are not difficult things to do. And obviously clearing out your pantry is important. If you just look what's in the pantry, if it's in a box or in a bag, has labels on it, it's probably not real food. You want to put it in the garbage can. Or I wouldn't even donate it to someone, because that's really not fair.
Right.
I would just empty your pantry of things that do not look like food.